So good morning YouTube. Today, Tuesday, market day in Melton Mowbray, and this is quite an important video, one that I didn't want to do, but I believe needs doing. This is to do with Henry Nowak, the young lad that was viciously murdered and arrested for racism, and what is actually happening. Now the video footage, the body cam footage of the police has been released, and I've got to admit, be warned, if you're of a sensitive nature, do not watch this video, don't watch it. But I think people need to see it to show exactly what it is that's going on in this country. And again, it's a very important video. I watched this footage and I will admit, it brought a tear to my eye. I remember being 18 years old, being out with my mates, enjoying life. I never in my lifetime had any threat of being stabbed to death by any ethnic minority in this country. Now, he was stabbed by a Sikh lad. I want to make it very clear, the Sikh community have come out and condemned this behaviour. The problem isn't the religion of these people, it isn't the ideology of these people, it's the simple fact the police arrested Henry when he told them that he was stabbed. Take a look at this footage. Be warned. You've been warned. My dad's holding it now. Oh. Right. He keeps dropping side to side, so I'm just trying to keep him set up. Right. He's got a mouthful of blood, I don't want him.
He was on the bin on the other side of this gate.
He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that.
And he's up here.
Away, mate.
He's obviously fallen from there and he slipped from there.
There's other shoes left over there, mate.
What's your name, mate? Huh? Has anyone been hurt other than him?
Yeah, me. He's grabbed my brother, he's took my turban off, started grabbing my head.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, little bruises.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down.
Got this stud.
Right, let's get you out of there, shall we?
I was in bed asleep. Yeah. Whenever just find me up there, look, someone's attacked me.
I can't breathe.
Grab his other arm.
Help. So I've just come running, we only live on St Denny's Road.
Right.
Come running around the corner.
What's happened to you, alright?
Been stabbed.
You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? I don't think you have, mate.
Look, that's what and then you've got mouthful of, I want to keep you up,
Hand?
I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cuff, mate.
Yeah. This is like the times this has happened to us. We've been walking, we can't
show you where we are. You can clearly see from that footage he was arrested. They've put handcuffs on him. They've put handcuffs on a guy that is dying. To check him, I haven't shown the rest of the video because for me personally it was too graphic. It was too emotional for me to be able to do that, and out of respect for his family. But I think this video should be shared the absolute fuck out of, because we have a racist government, a racist communist Nazi government, racist communist Nazi lefties running this country. The police, the judiciary, everything. Now, here's a phone call that was made. The phone call is just as bad in my opinion. Here's the phone call that was made when Henry was attacked. They rang the police and they basically turned around and said, we've been attacked, racially attacked by a white guy. Take a look at this, or a listen.
Police emergency.
Yeah, we just been attacked by someone racially. Yeah, this.
Right.
He just attacked it, took his starter. Sorry? Huh? Sorry, we just got attacked racially by some white person.
Right, okay. Whereabouts are you?
We're on Belmont Road.
Just out in the street, are you?
Sorry?
You're just in the street?
Yeah, literally, I just parked up my car to come home and he's attacked my brother.
Now, as you can hear from that phone call, that was his brother, I believe. We've been racially attacked by a white guy. He also called, I think he called Henry some sort of racist name. And again, the abhorrent disregard for this attack. I'm almost stuck for words to what has actually happened here. Now, don't get me wrong, this is disgusting. It's disgusting, but the fact is, this is happening every single day, not just with murders, with rape cases, with the Pakistani grooming gangs, with all sorts of things, because the police are too scared of being called racist. The government are too scared of being called racist, when in fact, let's be honest, they're now the ones that have become the very thing they claim to be fighting against. Racist towards white, British, Christian people. And the cat's now out the bag. This is 100% evidence. Keir Starmer has not said a fucking word. I think he's put out one statement. When Henry Floyd, or whatever his name was, the criminal, the one that held a gun to his pregnant wife's stomach, the one that used to take methamphetamine on a regular basis, the one that used to like to rob shops, him. Remember him? Black Lives Matter. No sooner has that guy said, I can't breathe, fucking Keir Starmer was already down on one fucking knee. Where are Stop Racism? Where are Hope Not Hate? Where are the people actually fucking protesting for Henry's death because of this bastard that stabbed him to death? Where are they? Angry, I don't think is a word I would use to describe how I feel about this. Especially when I've got children myself. England has never been so dangerous. Main cities and places like that, with police that are looking on Facebook for Facebook posts because of hurty words, instead of going out there and actually arresting the people that need arrested and doing the right fucking job. You are an absolute fucking disgrace, the police are. An absolute disgrace, and if anybody trusts them, I don't know what else to say. Here's a quick clip of what Nigel Farage had to say about it this morning, and then I'm going to show you a clip of what Henry's dad said in a very moving statement. Take a look at these.
Think of this. The biggest fear a police officer now has going about his or her duty on the street is the fear of being reported for having acted in a way that was racially biased.
Now, I'm unsure what else to say about this situation, which should not have happened. Should never happened. The George Floyd one should not have happened. What are they training these policemen to actually do? Well, I'll tell you what they're training them to do. They're training them to take race before the actual criminal offence, through fear of being called racist. And I think the thing that pisses me off is Stop Racism, the so-called anti-fascist organisation, haven't said a fucking word about this, and it just shows you the government haven't said hardly a fucking word about it. There's media silence on all sides because it was a white English teenager that was out enjoying a night out with his friends and was viciously attacked. And then skin colour come into it because of the police. He had a knife. This lad that murdered him had a ceremonial knife. Being allowed to walk the streets with a fucking knife. If that had been Henry and he'd have got a knife on him, clearly on display, he'd have probably faced 7 years in prison. But because it's ceremonial and we pander, or whatever you want to call it, to other ethnic minorities. And again, this is nothing to do with the Sikhs. They've come out and condemned this behaviour. When Muslims do this, they do not come out and condemn this behaviour at all. They don't condemn the rape of thousands of children across the country. I'm fucking sick of it. I am fucking sick of it to the back teeth. Angry. Why does it always have to be somebody that's died or somebody that's become extreme violent from the far left before anything's done, or before anybody wakes up, or before any protests happen? Because it seems to me that Great Britain has become weak, yellow cowards, spineless cowards, spineless. Take a look at this clip.
Is called political action, also known as direct action, and guess who's really good at it? Stand up to racism, unite against fascism, hope not hate, Socialist Worker Party. Yeah. But we're here standing up to racism, right? Where are stand up to racism? Where are stand up to racism? They're not here. They despise us. Because we're right. Thank you. The quiet part out loud. Patriots, evangelise your brothers and sisters, recruit within your communities, recruit on Neighbourhood Watch, in your church services, in your parishes, at the school gate, and pull them out. Set boundaries with liberals who refuse to understand the mission. This is the fight for our lives.
Now, I've just come for a quiet walk this morning because after you can see that clip, that's UKIP basically saying, where are these other far left groups, calling this out for what it is. Look at these rabbits, they're everywhere. Oh, there's hundreds of them. Don't know whether you can see them, but I mean, Henry's family should not have to have gone through this. And I'm going to say it, and I don't care what people say, the blood is on the hands of the government and Keir Starmer. The weather could not be more fitting today. Hence I'm using my GoPro. So what can be done about this so people don't just forget about it, so it doesn't just skip somebody's mind? So next week it's just another story in the papers. Well, it won't be, because they haven't fucking run it, have they? Most of them. So what can actually be done? Well, I honestly do not know. I don't know what the answer is. If you've got any suggestions, tell me. All I know is we have a racist government, racist police, and before anybody says anything, yes, I know that the commands come from the top down. I mean, let's look at, before anybody says anything, let's look at the airport case where the two Muslim men hit a female policewoman and how they've got away with it. Literally, you've seen the video. They commit ABH and GBH, and they've got away with it because of this government. And remember, that's the mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, now going for a place in Parliament. If we don't get a fucking grip and wake up, we're fucked. This will become a third world country. Look at Birmingham, look at why places in London, just places in London that you would not fucking recognise. Rubbish and shit everywhere. Look at Berlin, go and look at Billy Moore's video in Berlin. That will be Great Britain in 10 years' time. Zombies walking the streets because they're on fucking drugs. Because Zach Polanski wants to fucking legalise drugs across Great Britain. That is what Great Britain, this once great country, will become. All because we sit back and pander to other religions and other races. Now, we've got people that come to this country and integrate. We've got people that enter this country, let's just say, legally, not illegally. And they integrate, they bring the families over, they open shops, they go to factories to work, they look after one another, they assimilate into society very, very well. They pay taxes. But again, I don't want to get away from the subject of what this actually is. This is about Henry and his family. Here's the statement his dad made. Just take a look at this. It's fucking heartbreaking.
I am Henry Nowak's father. To my left is my daughter Olivia Nowak, Henry's older sister, and to her left is Lucy Ross, Henry's Nowak's mother. The jury confirmed what we've always known. Henry's life was taken from him unlawfully, violently, and without justification. Henry was 18 years old. He was kind, ambitious, loved and full of promise. He had his whole life ahead of him, a degree to finish, places to see, and a future to build. That future was stolen from him, and no verdict or sentence will ever give it back. Henry did nothing wrong. He was one of the kindest, friendliest, and most inclusive people you could ever hope to meet. He was amazing in every way. On the 3rd of December last year, Henry was walking home from a night out with his university football teammates when he encountered Vikram Digwa, a man openly carrying a large knife on the streets of Britain. That knife was used to take Henry's life. He should have been safe walking home. Instead, he became another young life lost to the brutal reality of knife crime in this country. Henry had been stabbed multiple times, and as his chest filled with blood, he tried to escape. He was chased, abused, and filmed by Vikram Digwa and others. When police arrived, Henry was lying on the floor, barely able to sit up and plainly in severe medical distress. With his final words, he told officers that he could not breathe. He told them he had been stabbed. In fact, Henry told officers that he could not breathe 9 times. He told them he had been stabbed 4 times. The response from one officer was, "I don't think you have, mate."
And just to prove how I feel about the police, this is an ex-police officer on GB News. Listen to the way he describes what happened, how he tries to justify this murder of Henry, and the presenter has to shut him down. An ex-police officer that's been brainwashed, become far left, and actually tries to justify this lad being stabbed, I think it was 4 or 5 times after he'd been for a night out, chased up the street, he was jumping over fences, told the police officers he'd been stabbed. The police officer's response was, "I don't think you have, mate." I've never known anything so disgusting, abhorrent, makes me feel sick. But here's that police officer.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm aware that you will have watched that footage there. What's your assessment of what you saw there as a former top cop?
Well, first of all of you are understandably shocked and emotionally very, very charged. And that comes across in the way in which you're all commenting and observing. For me personally, I've seen this kind of thing many, many times in my life. Indeed, I still work internationally as a police advisor and see far worse on quite a regular basis. So I'm just telling you where I come from, which is a position of being as objective as I possibly can in what I'm seeing there. I've also read the judge's summing up comments in his actual judgment, where he puts the vast majority of blame, well, in fact, all the blame for what's occurred here, on Digwa, in that he comments to the effect that they continually, the family misled the police, having already misled them on 999
Kevin, I've got to stop you. That is BS, isn't it? That is BS. Because when they got to the scene, the witness, the first thing they said was that he's bleeding and that he can't support himself. He told him, Henry Nowak told the police officer several times, I've been stabbed and I can't breathe, right? So this idea that the police were lied to there, okay, they were lied to by a murderer. Won't be the first time that's happened, will it? Are you honestly saying that the police shouldn't have acted any differently?
Now, I don't know about you, but if this doesn't trigger something, protests, people asking the questions that need to be asked, some sort of pushback, no violence, I don't know what the fuck this country is going to become. When you vote in the next election, which I think is going to be sooner rather than later, the way Starmer is actually going, Keir Starling, with this communist, racist, Nazi government that we have, socialist, liberal bullshit. I don't know what else to say. I've shown you clips, I've waffled on, I've got quite angry, so I had to stop the video a couple of times. But why the fuck shouldn't I be angry? Let me just wipe the screen. The lens, sorry. There you go. If you're not angry about this, there's something wrong with you. You're fucking, something wrong in your head. This guy's been charged with murder. The police let this young lad needlessly die through fear of being called racists. That's how far we've come. We've got white liberal people, white liberal lefties who hate white people. They are racist to their own race because they've been fucking brainwashed. How much more clear could this be? And how many people will it wake up? To be honest, it should wake everybody up if they're capable of critical thinking and if they've got the fucking backbone to actually stand there and say, actually, you know what? I may have just been fucking wrong. What happened 60 years ago, 100 years ago to black people when they were enslaved? And just to make it clear, it was Great Britain that stopped the slave trade, and it was colonialism and all that sort of stuff. That's a different video entirely, but we've come full circle and we can't recognise it when we see it. Now, there's something called the Fabian Society. Go and look them up. Keir Starmer's a member of it. If you want to know what it is, it's a lefty organisation that plan to slowly take over Great Britain. A communist organisation that plan to slowly oppress Great Britain with digital ID, with teaching LGBTQ4K in schools. And I mentioned it yesterday in a video about this being taught in schools and our council raising the flag for the LGBTQ movement. Now, people seem to mistake what I was trying to say here. I have got no problem with the pride flag. The pride flag is completely different to the LGBTQ flag. The pride flag is the rainbow flag. It's just got stripes across it. It's been infiltrated by an ideology, by a far left ideology, where they tell kids in schools that they're not beautiful, that they're not perfect the way they are, but that they're boys trapped inside girls' bodies. Fucking their heads up. That's disgusting, isn't it? Or is that just me being prude? For fuck's sake, why would you tell a child that? You're a girl trapped inside a boy's body, and if anybody says any different, they're persecuting you. So what about Henry? How does that attach to Henry? Well, he's been persecuted, hasn't he? But the left don't want to talk about it because they're nothing but fucking yellow, spineless fucking scum. That's what they are. Spineless fucking scum. The far left I'm talking about here, to make it very clear. Again, I've got no more video clips to show you. I'm going to go home and get a cup of coffee and chill out a little bit. This has been Street Switch Photography. I was going to say like and subscribe, and I don't want you to like this video because it's not made to be liked. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content telling the fucking truth as it is. Now, I've had a first-hand experience of telling the truth and being persecuted for it, because that's where we're at. We're at the point where now the truth can be seen. If it hurts someone's feelings, you're the one arrested for it. Where someone's delusion matters more than your reality and the truth. That's where we are. Street Switch Photography. See you in the next video. Bye for now.